It has reaffirmed the government's commitment to curb cases of public land grabbing in the wake of rampant evictions that continue to render some Kenyans homeless. The CS, who appeared before the Senate Devolution Committee on Thursday, noted that the digitization of land records remains key in the crackdown against land grabbers, revealing that the process is set to be complete in June in Nairobi and will be rolled out in all parts of the country. David Mudhoka reports.
The probe into last year's alleged illegal evictions of residents of Nairobi City County housing units in Pumwani and Eastleigh areas in Nairobi took center stage on Thursday when officials from the Nairobi Metropolitan Services and their counterparts from the Ministry of Lands, led by Lands Cabinet Secretary Farida Karoney, appeared before the Senate's Devolution Committee to shed light on the government's plan to weed out land grabbers as well as bring the committee up to speed on the progress made in the digitization of public land records.
We are treating this with a lot of seriousness.
Senators act by the evictions that were allegedly carried out by the Nairobi Metropolitan Services put the lands and NMS officials appearing before them to task to explain why hundreds of families were forced to spend nights in cold or seek shelter elsewhere by the very administration mandated to protect them.
If the director, the one actually who allocates, I'm sure his signature is there, says he's not aware and says maybe or whatever it is, then chairman is not fit to hold office. I don't think this is the right person. He should not be in office.
Please, can you be specific with your testimony on what really happened? Not it could have happened, it could have this and that. You want to tell me surely when you're the director at an institutional level, part of your parastatals, because Nairobi City Water is a parastatal of the county government, which you work for, has lost its property. You appear before a committee of parliament and you're telling us there could have been another owner. Honestly, SG.
That the NMS might have colluded with private developers to illegally evict the Pumwani and Eastleigh residents from their shelters prompted the senators to demand documents showing ownership of the lands in contention, documents that neither the lands nor the NMS officials were able to provide.
Instead of all this, a lot of English, tell us who are the original owners of this piece of land, how did this land exchange hands.
As per the testimony of those who are evicted, who are staff of Nairobi City County, they came in NMS branded vehicles and police officers.
I asked the committee to give me time. I'll get the details when the allocation was done, the letter of allotment, and I'll bring it to the committee.
This is a digital government which should be able to give us all information about land whenever, where, as and when it is required. So let's not be taken around on this. It's very serious.
The people we expect to be here next week includes that general body and the Inspector General of Police. But more importantly, you know, the person that we will go for is also this supposed owner, quote-unquote owner, who is laying claim to this land. We want to know this shadowy character.
With a one-week ultimatum issued to NMS Director General Mohamed Badi and Police IG Hilary Mutyambai to answer to the claims and to produce ownership documents for the land in question, CS Karoney, however, revealed that war against land grabbers will be successful if all public land records are digitized, an exercise that Karoney said will be complete in Nairobi by June this year and by the end of 2024 in all other parts of the country. The CS further noting that her ministry was working hand in hand with the NMS to meet the June deadline in Nairobi. David Mudhoka, TV 47.